Hello and welcome to another stream at Cardboard Alchemy headquarters. I am Peter Vaughan, and it is Friday, or whenever you're watching this. We are live to talk about board games. We're talking about the weekend ahead of us in board games, and we talk about Cardboard Alchemy games. We have a few games out. We have Flamecraft Duels, which is getting into stores now, and we have Andromeda's Edge and its expansion Genesis, which is cooking. Plus, we've got Critter Kitchen and Flamecraft. We can even talk about Mission Catastrophe. We can talk about whatever you want to talk about. I played some games last night. Rosie, our comms manager, will be on to get all your questions, and she also has some games to talk about. Axel checking in, saying, I want to talk about Flamebound. We can talk about Flamebound. We got lots of fun things to talk about with Flamebound. That is the sequel to Flamecraft, which is coming. We can talk about any of the games. We can talk about Whisperwood. There's some people who we just started a Facebook group on Whisperwood. Thank you, Corkleton. Mission Catastrophe. Woo! That is the first game we made at Cardboard Alchemy. And I still get people telling me that's actually their favorite game. I mean, it's funny. It had its audience. It was a very small game, sadly, because we were still new and there was a lot of just people who didn't know who we were yet. And so we might have to come back. That game might have to come back. It's pretty fun. We got questions coming in. We got hellos from all over the place. Hi, Mark. It's good to see you. We're going to talk about Andromeda's Edge. I have some things to show from Andromeda's Edge in this stream. So I'll show some things. Because we're getting ready to do a Pledge Manager update. I know that the Andromeda's Edge Genesis Game Found wall is ready for an update. I know this because the comments on the wall are telling me things like, hey, I'm so excited for last month's update, which didn't exist. But we are busy, and I can explain some of the things that we're working on to get this copy onto the tabletops in people's homes coming up. So we're working on a lot of things for Andromeda's Edge. Rosie is ready to come on, so we're going to bring in Rosie to chat with everybody. Hello.
Hello. I think I've shared it with everyone now. Look, there you are.
Excellent.
Yes, happy Friday.
Friday.
If anyone's noticing something different, I'm wearing the glasses that I hate. Everyone's got a pair that they thought was a good idea.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like
actually ordered some new ones. I can't wait till my new glasses come in. I just ordered new ones.
Oh, do you get them from that fancy place where you can magnetically clip them on?
You know what? I did ask for that. I said, you know what I want to do is change the color of the frames. And they said, oh, we don't do that. But I got a cute pair anyway. And those to come in.
I hate these ones. And I'd like to know where my other ones are. I think the dog has stolen them. But anyway, how is everyone this Friday? Are you ready for the weekend? Is it time already? For me, it's Friday night, so I'm partying already. But how has your week been, Peter? Busy?
It's been busy. It's one of the crunchiest times because we're going to Gamma Expo, which is a sort of a industry event, which I was so excited to get you there last year, Rosie, and now we're bringing you back. Yeah. Are you excited to go to Gamma again?
I really like Gamma. It feels like when you just know everyone, like it's such a weird thing. Like I didn't know when I got to that one if I would know a lot of people, but we would walk around and it'd be, hey, yeah.
Retailers. I remember you ran into retailers and also content creators, but it's like a mixture of publishers, manufacturers, distributors, retailers, content creators, designers, publishers. It's kind of amazing, but there's been a lot of work preparing for that because Cardboard Alchemy has a booth at Gamma, and we haven't really done booths. Our first booth was PAX.
Yeah, I mean, last year Lucky Duck had a really cute kitchen-y one for Critter Kitchen, and even I shout out to Risa who did this like scent thing where you go over and it smelt like baking, and I was like,
"Oh, that's neat." I didn't even realize she did that. And
she had little like, and I was like, "Why does it smell like vanilla?" And she's like, "I've got these little scent things."
Speaking of Critter Kitchen, we actually have so we're joining game night at Gamma, which means that we're going to have Critter Kitchen on the tables, and Peter C. Hayward and Alex Cutler, the two designers, are going to be there because that's the kind of show it is where designers
the first time they're in the same place. I didn't know they could be in the same place.
Yeah, they don't often get to do that, so they get to help demo Critter Kitchen to retailers. I think a lot of retailers don't know enough about that game yet, and so we're going to hopefully tell them all about how cool Crit Kitchen is, as well as Duels and Genre's Edge.
Yeah, I don't think there is a scent we could put on our booth to match all the things that we're doing. What would that scent be?
Well, we do have a fountain. Maybe we could pump in some like fresh outside, like a outside scent, like grass or some like, you know.
When we made the fountain for PAX, we were talking about doing like the sound of running water, and I said, absolutely not. I'll want to go to the toilet every 5 minutes if you do that. But like adding in sounds and like immersive stuff is always fun.
We're gonna bring back the fountain though. The fountain will be there, and I think a lot of times GAMA is a less stressful show. I mean, it's a business to business show, so I think retailers will like just hanging out at the fountain and checking out Duels and seeing.
Yeah, and I'll be showing off playing Duels on the tables, the beautiful tables that we had at PAX. I'll try and steal one this time. I'll see how effective I am this time. I'm bringing my painted minis, and yeah, I've got a lot of fun things planned. It's not exactly like a hot spot, like it's not a holiday destination for me, Kentucky.
Louisville, Kentucky is not a holiday destination for you.
It does mean that you get a lot of game nights in. Like even after the actual game night has ended, everyone goes and plays in the hotel lobby. They got prototypes out. People are getting loads of amazing feedback on their games. I played a bunch of games last time, which I now have seen are out.
Yes, so you know, really I've seen. I think the last one I saw like Chicken Fried Dice. There, did you see that one?
Yeah, that's the one I played. Yeah.
And so now I've seen it. Like now it's starting to get to content creators. It's going to launch on Kickstarter, so it's fun.
I really like the style of that one. It was very thematic. Everyone had your own little food truck.
Yeah,
it was very cool. And I will shout out to I think it was the designer who took a lot of feedback from. It was a lot of content creators and also developers. They were like had lots of jobs in the space, and there was just a lot of feedback, and that's what you've got to deal with and be able to accept in this space. And he was just like, absolutely, yeah. He was just taking loads of notes.
Last time we went to GAMA, Duels was not launched yet. It wasn't launched on Kickstarter. It was early. We had a prototype brought to the convention by four different manufacturers were kind enough to build the first Duels prototype and come to the show and then show us what they could do for a prototype. And from that show, we picked a manufacturer. And it was a I was honored to have that many manufacturers willing to do that. And it was a really fun time.
Yeah. It was also the first time I'd properly played it, like in person. And then I played it and then I showed it at about 16 to 20 meetings with content creators to show it to them. So it went straight from, I mean, even like the stuff we were given as prototypes became what I was showing people. We were like, we like this bit, swap this in. And then we were showing it. So it was very fresh. And now we're back with it just being released.
We had the plant dragon with us at that show last time. We had just showed up with the first plant dragon.
Yeah.
And then also from that show, it's really interesting. You talked to Barnes & Noble, and Barnes & Noble has become a huge fan of Duels. And it's selling so well at Barnes & Noble. Just yesterday, they placed like their third order of Flamecraft Duels, which is amazing. It's doing amazing at that store.
It's really interesting that's about the event in that you just bump into people over breakfast. It's this huge hotel with this weird bridge, and everyone just stays there. So it's a very networking event. This is such an interesting question from Crockleton. Were all the prototypes a similar idea of the box being the board, or were there other ideas? There was one that was different.
There were some other ideas. Like one of the manufacturers actually suggested, so I have a copy of Duels. I don't have one like right near me, but for example, they had, I actually have that prototype around somewhere, but they suggested that the board come apart, like where Rosie has it like right now. They suggested that it be magnet on the two ends that are folding together. They were suggesting that you pull these two boxes apart and keep each box on your shelf. And I didn't like that it would be two loose boxes.
It would require a sleeve, didn't it, to keep them
they were like,
together.
Well, you could put the two boxes and fold them together and then sleeve. And I was like, I don't really want a sleeve that people have to take off and then lose or rip or whatever else.
It was very swish. It had little drawers, but at the same time, we didn't want people to need an extra thing to protect. But it was very swish.
But I did tell them that like I like the idea so much that I'm like thinking of other game ideas where like you buy one box and then we sell a different box and then you put the two boxes together and they smash up the games.
Yeah. It was very cool. It was fun to see different creativity on it because even like most of them we already pitched that we wanted it to do this. So
Yeah.
they did, but there was slight differences, weren't there, in how they were attached by ribbon, or were there holes?
There were holes in
Or
several of them where you had to like, yeah.
yeah, get your finger in it. And there was other like different ways that they'd considered it, which was really fascinating, because
The
normally it's just a
lock,
box.
the lock is an idea that came up at that show. There was no dragon lock mechanism. So that came up at that show. That is what won the manufacturer that we ended up going with E-Star. That is what won them the job, is that they said we could have this cute dragon clasp on it. And we were like, sold.
Yeah, it's a beauty. It's a beauty.
I mean, it's a little bread dragon now, because Sandara drew a little bread dragon, cute face.
Oh, bread dragon.
Yeah, it's very cute.
But yeah, it's such an interesting process, because it felt a lot more like product design, where you start from scratch with an interesting idea, whereas board games are products, but they often start with, there's a board, there's a 2-part box, what size is the box? These are things that a lot of manufacturers already have. They go, here's the options for you. Whereas this was like, you've got to start from scratch. What are you making for us?
Yeah.
So it's very interesting.
And I should also mention, like, I mean, Manny Vega will also be at Gamma, and he's not demoing duels, although he might come over and help us with a couple demos at the booth. But he is demoing he has a game with Sandara called Elementary, with Littlest Lantern, and they're going to be there. And I think it's at least to be that I wouldn't advise designers to go to Gamma, because it was too small. It was too like publisher to manufacturer kind of a thing. But now I think the landscape has changed. I think designers sometimes get games signed there, or they get the first notice about a game there. I remember a couple of years ago, for everyone who's heard me tell the story, Eamon Anderson did really well with Gnome Hollow there. In fact, he went as a designer with this prototype that he had done most of the illustration for, and he had like 10 offers from publishers, because he showed up with it. It was mostly done, and no one had heard of it, and everyone was like, "Oh, this is the coolest thing ever!" And how can I sign this game?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's got pros and cons. Content creators were talking about, is it worth going to Gamma for them? And it's mixed, because you get a lot of chances to talk to a lot of publishers when you don't tend to get that much time at conventions that are for the public, because you also want to experience the event as a normal person, going around, not having loads of meetings. So it's good for connecting. And there are loads of panels. We're running panels.
Yeah, you're doing 2 panels.
I'm doing 2 panels.
You've got one with Easy Cat, right?
Yeah, I've got one with Jason and Libby. So Jason is Easy Cat and Libby is Box Meeples, and we're talking about basically, it's not, I don't have to plan too much, because it's a social media Q&A. So they just ask a bunch of questions about the usual questions, like, how do I raise my following, and how do I, this kind of stuff. And then I'm doing a panel where I'm presenting how-tos for how to make content and how to make video content watchable. And you're in that one, as well as Rob Trounce, who works for Zatu.
Oh, nice.
Did I just tell you?
Yeah, I just found out on the panel, everybody. What I was wondering about is, I wonder if can anyone see those panels after? Who's like watching here? I don't know that they'll have them.
There's a contract, and you can click if you want it filmed or not. I don't know if they actually do film it. For example, some of you may have seen a video come up on YouTube of me and Peter playing duels. That was filmed at PAX, and it definitely was meant to come out around PAX, because the information in it is very old now. But we don't know when these things come out sometimes. It's very much reliant on how busy the schedule of the people running the event is. So I'll tick a box saying it can be filmed, but we don't know if it will be seen by anyone.
It'll be fun to see. Maybe you'll. So to talk about other conventions, before I get back to your original question of what other busy things are going on, but just to tell anyone who's watching, we're also going to go to Dice Tower West. If you are anywhere near Dice Tower West, the Dice Tower runs a east and a west. The west is in Vegas. We're going to show Whisperwood there. It's an all Whisperwood booth. We're actually doing that again in Origins. We're going to do an all Whisperwood section of the All Play booth. And then UK Games Expo, which is in Rosie's part of the hood. And some of you who are watching are in the UK. We're going to do a very big, the biggest booth we've ever attempted at UK Games Expo.
It's huge. It's bigger than my flat, probably.
I will say that's so big that we're putting the word out now for people who want to join us and like potentially demo games, or we're gonna we have some fun Flamecraft cool contest ideas and lots of things we're gonna be doing. And if you want to join in the fun, we are looking for folks that are going and want us. We do half shifts, so you don't have to give up your whole con. But it's gonna be fun. I'm really looking forward to that one because it is our second big consumer booth. We did PAX as a trial run. This is 3 times the size of our PAX booth. We're ready now. We're gonna have Whisperwood on the table, which I'm really excited about because it should be pretty close to the final, looking how I imagine it would look like, with all of the tiles and all of the pieces and stuff like that. So I'm really excited to see that.
It's a big booth, big game.
Yeah.
So we need the space, but it's very exciting. And I've never worked a booth at the UK Games Expo, but I know the ins and outs of that convention very well. I've been going for 10 years, so
It's going to be interesting then to see what you think about it.
It's really interesting. Yeah, I also know what it's like to work on a booth. I've worked comic conventions, so I know exactly what it's like to work in a big busy booth, and it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of sleep needed, but I'm excited about what we're doing. We've got.
I hope we don't wreck it for you, because I know that when I work Gen Con, it's exhausting, and then you don't get the same out of it. So I hope we don't.
It's different as well, because I've already been as a content creator for 3 years, and that is a little bit like work. I don't make any money, but it is like work because you're going around. And I also ran tournaments and things. I did a Flamecraft tournament last year. So it's not a complete shift for me, because I'm always on. I'm always filming and featuring the event. And even Doug, my husband, goes around and films bits of footage for me. So he gets a press pass to get things for me. When we went to Essen and I was working it 2 years back, he went around and was like, this is a game you'll like, and this is a game you'll like. And going through all the footage was really fun because it felt like a mini vlog just for me, just all the things.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it's, always experiencing different things. Also, I find that if there's a place to sit, I will be drawn to that space. Oh, this booth has a chair. I'm going to sit there for a while. So yeah, but I'm excited. We're doing some very creative things with this booth. We're doing some very fun things. So if you want to get involved, then email us, and we'll be getting onto that relatively soon. It takes a lot of work to organize a convention.
We actually might also need 1 or 2 people at Origins, and we also might need, I don't know about Gen Con yet. We'll have to talk about our future plans, but we're planning out the whole year. I think this is the most conventions we've ever attempted to do, because we are now doing more of our own. We're doing our own stunts, everybody. Now it's we're doing retail on our own, and distribution and localization and events. It's a very big year for Cardboard Alchemy. Yeah. So any of those topics we can talk about, but just to go back to your original thing about how busy we are, one of the things we're also working on right now, besides planning events, is we're trying to get Andromeda's Edge to print. And it is now I say Andromeda's Edge, what I mean is Andromeda's Edge Genesis, which is the latest expansion to Andromeda's Edge. We've already sent the matte files to Game Toppers, and I'm going to write all of this in an update. I know people are waiting for an update, and I want to tell everyone all about the update, but one of the things we've been trying to do is get the files ready to go, because the manufacturing plants are about to come back from their holiday. It's just this week was the beginning of the Lunar New Year, which means
Year of the Horse, right?
The Year of the Fire Horse, specifically.
Oh, year which what is a fire horse? Is it? Because my brain instantly goes to the Pokemon, which is clearly not
Pokemon. Right. I don't know, but the Sandara actually usually draws a Happy New Year post. I wonder if she did one. She did one for the water tiger. So basically, every year has an animal and an element that's associated with.
Oh, okay. So what was the dragon one when it was dragons? What was the element?
I don't know, actually. I have to go back.
And last year was Year of the Snake?
So I don't know which element was the snake.
So we have the most boring years. We need animals. Come on. That's so much more exciting.
We have fire horse this year, so...
The Year of the Tiger was particularly cool. There was a lot of really awesome art that year. There was a lot of really cool things. So, anyone that knows more about this, please educate. Because
please, we need to know what the last year's snake element was. Was it Earth Snake? I don't know. We need to know the dragon year as well. But in any case, we're off to the races in the Fire Horse year, and we're trying to get the Andromeda's Edge Genesis files out the door. We've also sent the orders to the Laser Ox folks to make the dice tower, and we're getting the pledge manager hopefully up very, very soon. The reason why that's taken an interesting amount of time is that we are moving all of our, as people know, it was a wood snake. There we go. We are moving all of our inventory from one warehouse to another warehouse, and that warehouse, which is All Play is handling all of our warehousing. All Play is now going to be shipping the Andromeda's Edge Genesis pledges later in the year. So, of course, we're working on figuring out exactly all the logistics of that. And then once we have that all figured out, we will put up the pledge manager so that people can settle with their final pledge, and we'll be ready to go.
Yeah, there's even though the expansion is relatively small in comparison to Andromeda's Edge, there's still a lot going into it. We still have like minis that need perfecting, and like all the text and all these kind of things. There's a lot to work out. So yeah, oh my goodness, Fire Goat next year. Hell yeah.
We're doing fire twice in a row.
I don't care. The Fire Goat sounds amazing.
The Wood Dragon. That's correct. It was the Wood Dragon.
Wood Dragon.
Wait, it was a Wood Snake and then Wood Dragon. So basically, is it 2 years? Yeah, maybe it's every 2.
Interesting.
So Andromeda's Edge Genesis files are, it is a very big task, because I will tell you, we are making a new appendix, which we want to cover every single card that is happening. And I cannot reveal it yet, but there is a surprise going into Genesis. So I can't wait to share that with everybody. But we are doing all these fun things to get that game done. We actually also, I just recently got, and I'm going to share a picture of these in the update, but we have a frog. It's not the right color yet, but we're also testing the frog on a base. He looks like, well, he doesn't quite look like the Silver Surfer here, but let me show you. There's some little bit more like the Silver Surfer in this one. This is not the green that we're doing, but this is a test.
This is not the green we're looking for.
It's not the green yet, but this is a test, because one of the things we were trying to make sure is that it's not going to be stable on my hand, but of course we're trying to make sure that the frog is stable when you put it on the table. And I also have, for other things, I have the cube.
That's so cool.
This is fun.
The cube.
I mean, some people will be calling this, and we can't call it officially, the a certain name that will assimilate you from a certain science fiction trope. But it's going to take you some time to get resistance is possibly futile. Awesome. Thank you for the comment about the nails. These are very Eastery. I'm gonna actually change them for Gamma, because I'm still trying to make Flamecraft nails for that show.
I don't think my nails would last the flight. I am preparing for the flight with lots of activities to bring. I'd love to know in the comments, when you have a long haul flight, what do you bring to keep you busy? I'm trying to decide books, like activities, like sticker things.
Like duels against frogs.
See, the thing I literally don't bring a suitcase. Like I don't, so I have to be very, very concerned with what I bring. Even deciding if I should bring my Switch. It's
people tough. Are renaming the cube.
Here we go. Grob. Yeah, that's what it is. Grob cube. Yep, exactly. That's not in any way close at all. Right. Resistance is useless. if Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy can get away with it, then
wow. Chinese years are on 60 cycles. Wow.
Yeah, we're so boring.
Well, wait, we're getting more clarity here. This is actually the Yin Fire Horse, and then it's the Yang Fire Goat. This is getting deeper. I love it. I'm into it.
Very cool.
If we could just release a game that is the exact right element and animal at the time that it happens, that's what our next.
I did say Mountain Goats is coming out. I assume probably next year or end of this year, which is very fitting.
All Play's nailing it.
Yeah, Sandara's legacy game. That's very exciting.
Anyway,
we should mention there are a couple of giveaways going on, not in this live, but we have a couple of giveaways. So first and foremost, the newsletter, which is linked below this, we have a giveaway in that. So you have a chance.
Look at that! I want to win some artwork.
You've got it it's in your office.
I know. I actually have these pieces, but they can be yours, signed by Sandara.
They are
What do they have
signed. You
to
can
do?
see it in the corners.
What if they do? What do they have to do to win?
So all they have to do is post a photo in the Flamecraft fan group Facebook page or on Instagram, tagging us. You can pretty much tag me anywhere that we have an account with a photo of you playing duels or you spot duels in a shop. The more ridiculous the place, the cool. I just love seeing
Yeah.
weird
We have
places.
somebody go to the top of Mount Everest to put duels up there. I guarantee you'll win a print if you do it.
Yeah, I want to see some bizarre places, but also just I like seeing cool photos of it. It's very beautiful. Yeah, I'm excited to see what people do. There's you got a bit of time on this one. This one is I think it's like 3 weeks. So
Nice.
you've got a bit of time. But there is another giveaway happening which ends Sunday.
Another giveaway. What is even happening, Rosie?
I've been let loose.
Ooh, a calendar.
That's my desk, by the way. Just so everyone knows it. Like there are so few of these. That is the one that's on my desk. Basically, we did these exclusive calendars for the PR boxes, so they were not made for public release. They have inside them we have references to specific conventions and stuff and things like that. But it does have a beautiful tally in it for playing Flamecraft, and of course, anyone who wins one of these, you are starting probably in March.
Well, yeah, so it'll arrive in March. So what you'll have to do is on the February and January, you'll have to play all the duels to fill all those slots as soon as you get it.
Yeah,
No,
absolutely.
you don't have to actually do that, but it will have it'll have nice pieces of art to look for January and February. But you have to
Each one has art, so
you're willing to skip to March. So sorry that it's like a little bit delayed, but if there's interest, we could do a calendar for next year. We just did this as a sort of a launch of Flamecraft Duels in stores, and we wanted to send it to a couple of people who make content, and it's a nice little perk to get the thing. And we have a couple left, so if you want to win one, what do you have to do to win one of these?
So this is in our Discord, which is linked below. In the announcements channel, you just have to leave an emoji, and then I will be picking at random few winners. And then contacting you via Discord, and it will be contacted via me. I have to say that because there's this whole thing with giveaways where people try and pretend to be someone else. It will be from me. So make sure you check your DMs. Sometimes people left unread.
Axel has a comment about the last thing because he's submitting for the so he does not have his copy of Duels yet. So he's asking if he can get a ride to play it and take a picture. Axel, I will tell you, like, for anyone who doesn't have their copy of Duels yet, which is, I think, only 4 countries. I know Mexico is one of those countries. Could they take a picture of classic Flamecraft or something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. As long as we have a hashtag, which I think it's Flamecraft Duels Love. It's in the newsletter.
Or if there was a creative post where you found two games, 2 cozy games, and mashed them together as duels. I don't know. There could be some.
Post a picture of yourself sad and not playing duels.
Okay. Oh no.
Just like dreaming of duels.
I'm really sad. I'm super sad that they're not that not everybody has their copy yet. So I would love to, would love to get your copy in Mexico. That was a bit of it was a tricky one. We actually went with a new service that we thought was going to be faster than the United States delivery.
That was a meeting at Gamma last year, right? Yeah.
Yes, we had somebody promise that they were going to do the smoothest Mexico deliveries ever. But I will say that, to be fair to them, fulfillment is hard, and it's not like, for example, I will go with another country that's very difficult, Brazil. There's a lot of fans of our work in Brazil, and it is almost impossible to get a game to Brazil. You have to do all these. There's times when I delivered a game to backers. It was called Rise of Tribes. And I remember that we couldn't send it to Brazil, but I accidentally had said that we could, and there were 8 backers before we turned it off. And so I said to those 8 backers, listen, I will personally take the copy and mail it to you because I feel really bad that you can't get it. And they were all excited. But each one of the 8 backers of Rise of Tribes in Brazil gave me different explicit instructions to get the package to go through customs. One said, you have to put a piece of paper here. One said, do not mark it this way. Another one said, absolutely mark it the way that they just said not to mark it. And I was like, what do I do? So I tried, and I'd say, I think 4, maybe even just 3 made it. So, we would love to send games all over the world, but and right now, for some reason, when you make games in China and then you say, let's go to Mexico, it's harder.
Yeah.
We're going to crack it, though. I'm going to tell you, we are going to crack it. Somehow I'm going to figure out if I have to go on holiday to Mexico with bags of games, I will do it.
Isn't that illegal?
I don't know. But
it's my brother lived in Thailand for a while, and when I said I was going to send him the new Lorcana co-op game because he loves the Lorcana co-op games that they make, he's like, right, you need to send it from not a business account. You need to send it from this and write this on it and handwrite it. And I'm like, what? Like, he's like, it will get stuck in customs if it looks like it's this and this. And I'm just like, this is ridiculous. He has the longest address I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I just send them with Manny because Manny is going to Mexico. Did you know that? There's a April convention. Yeah. I want to go there as well. This April I can't, but I've been meaning to go.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so those 2 giveaways are happening. So be sure to enter them. If you haven't joined our Discord, this is the perfect time to join. It's very lovely. Everyone's very nice. Lovely chats going on. There's also channels for lots of different things, like
what else
RPGs, lots of stuff.
Yeah, the Flamecraft video game is coming this year. I know they're going to do lots of fun things. They've just posted in the Flamecraft group that you can help them come up with the achievements in the game. For example, they threw out like, well, if you get to 50 points, or if you have 5 fancy dragons. Of course, we know our community can get way more than 5 fancy dragons. So I want to hear like the craziest achievements you could pull off in a game of Flamecraft. Like have Buddy, the fancy dragon, with what, 4 other pairs, 6 other pairs? Like, what is a crazy achievement? I know that there's a lot of people who play Flamecraft and can think of an achievement, that would be really fun.
This is for Steam, right? Because on Steam, when you do something, it comes up with a little...
Yeah, it's going to go like, you've scored this many points, or you've gotten like this many coins in a game, or you've done, you've opened all the shops, or you've, there's a lot of ideas. And I think they're going to put someone, if you come up with it, an idea that they use, they're going to put you in the credits for the digital game, which is really fun.
Very cool. Very cool.
2 completed shops in 1 turn. Then there's an achievement. That's really fun.
I think it's a really nice idea because I've been on Steam this week a little bit, and I noticed things popping up and things. I'm mostly a handheld console player because my computer is a laptop, so sometimes it's like cannot handle data. But I have been enjoying the little achievements that pop up.
I can't wait till the day, and I know we're it's like not promised yet, but I'm rooting for Flamecraft on Switch. I know we got to go on Steam first. But that to me will be like, I want to be at PAX East or West or PAX Australia or something. And I want to just sit in a beanbag chair with Flamecraft on a Switch. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, we all need company Switches. What if it comes out on the Switch too?
Well, Brad's like going to cut the feed to this. What? We're doing company Switches now.
Yeah, with like
everyone in the company's got to be able to play Flamecraft on their
Flamecraft skins, and they all need to be Switch 2s.
I mean, I'm not.
But I have got my travel Switch that I bought for long haul flights, which has literally only got Animal Crossing on it.
Everything to do on a flight. Although I'll tell you what I did on my last flight, because I was away for 17 days, and I had duels with me because, of course, I was going to another convention, which was at Nuremberg. It's a toy fair, and I brought because we were talking to different distributors, different partners about duels, and I brought duels on the plane and played a couple of games of solo. Then I played it in the middle of like an airport. I was waiting for a bus in Munich, and I was in this divey little, like, kind of a pub / cafe, but with chess tables, and there were people playing poker. And then I just cracked out Flamecraft duels like it was, like it was one of the games in the shop.
That's really cool. I have a 3-hour wait at Charlotte something.
Oh yeah, Charlotte, North Carolina. I was there as well. That's where TantrumCon was.
That's where I've got to wait because it still counts as an international flight if you're going.
You could call up the people at Tantrum House and be like, "Let's do something."
I think I'm just stuck at the airport. I don't think I'm allowed to leave. But I will be. I'll be with my friend Libby at least. MP says you can play it on a Steam Deck. I don't know if it's actually properly utilized for that. I do actually have a Steam Deck. It is my husband's Steam Deck. I genuinely find it too heavy to play. I'm literally like, I think, and
Yeah.
it makes this noise. It's me being very picky. I like to be able to hold it up, but I totally will be if it's only on Steam, which it could be depending on what happens. It's getting games onto Switch. I'm aware is very difficult.
It is. Yeah.
Because the whole process with how Nintendo work, you have to also fit into all of their guidelines. It's a bunch of things. But yeah, I will be playing it on the Steam Deck as soon as it is finished. I will definitely be doing that.
Yeah. I'm excited for that. I'm really excited. We've put a coupon in every copy of Flamecraft Duels that's ever been printed.
Yep.
And we've printed
here.
a lot of Flamecraft Duels. And not only that, we put a coupon for the Steam game in every copy of Dragons and Dragons, the Flamecraft expansion that's ever been printed. And to this date, we've actually printed a coupon in the last 10,000 Flamecraft copies that have been printed. So all told, I think there must be over 60, 70, 80,000 coupons now in the wild. It's yeah, it's wild.
I mean, like that's so exciting. I just the idea of even having a Steam code may seem like really basic, but it's really like it's not something I really ever expected to happen. When I joined the company, I didn't think there'll be a video game because you just think it's board games. And it's like I've had so much feedback already on it. And it's also this thing that we're a part of, but we're not a part of because it's something that's like it's something we're so attached to and so close to, but also it's being made by them.
Well,
so you kind of get to experience it a little bit like
a little bit because for example, they told me they this is Monster Couch. Monster Couch was making it. They also made the Wingspan digital game, and they also made Calico. And Monster Couch told me that they went and hired an orchestra to compose the music in the video game. And I was like, this is so cool. I actually used to do that a little bit with Disney. I was there, and when we worked on an animated film, we would have a day where we'd go to an orchestra, and they would play the soundtrack, and they would record, and we would be in the booth. And sometimes the director and some of the actors were there just because it's a cool thing to have an orchestra performing the songs. And Monster Couch just shared that, and it's wild that that's happening because they're making a soundtrack for that video game, which will be fun to see if it gets on places where you can hear music in other ways, and play that during when you have the board game out would be pretty fun as well.
Yeah, if we ever get it on vinyl, it'll give me an excuse to buy a record player. So
there you go. Monster Couch did make a vinyl record of the Wingspan.
They did.
So that's pretty fun.
That would be super cool. Or a cassette tape. Let's go retro. Imagine a little cassette tape. When I was younger, I had a what you would call a fanny pack. I call a bum bag. They're both terrible names. And I had a sheep one with a sheep cassette cut, and my brother had a shark one with a shark one, and I'm like, what if you had a dragon one?
It reminds me of I think my son and I were looking at something which was a speaker, and it was shaped like an old boombox that had like a cassette tape, and he was completely like, what is this? And I go, well, this is how we used to listen to music.
I don't think I have any cassettes left, but I definitely did record music from the radio, and I had to pause it. That's how old I am. There you go. Now you know that I recorded things off of the radio with cassette tapes.
This is fun. Only the coupons were additive. I'd end up being able to get the game for free now. Yeah.
Well, Quirkerton asked if you're happy to give us coupon codes to friends if we have duplicates. We can't stop you. That's fine. Yeah.
No, we want as many people to find what's going to happen now is the video game is still got some more. I think the alpha testing phase is about to be done. They're going to beta testing, and then they're going to be taking it to a couple shows. I don't know when its actual launch date is, but I believe it's coming soon. Like they're working really hard to get it out. I think by summer. And if that happens, then of course they want a flood of codes and people to try it. And there's some people that I've heard try it and find out that Flamecraft is for them, and then go buy the board game, which I think is really exciting. So I hope to do some fun partnerships with them where we could create like some Easter egg content and some things that are reveals inside the video game. Maybe we'll do maybe we'll do some teasers for Flamebound, or like we'll go the other way and have, some like things where, we put in later copies of Flamecraft, some fun things about the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I really enjoy Quirkleton giving me advice on how to record things on the radio. I'll note that for next time. Oh, I
Things you learn
don't
in
even
this
have
stream.
a radio anymore that isn't DAB. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, everyone's talking about how old they feel, so that's nice. That makes me feel good.
yeah, Walkmans.
Walkmans. Do you remember that you couldn't have them on their side, otherwise they would skip? And yet,
Yeah.
how were you supposed to walk around with them? Just holding them flat like this?
Yeah.
I think all of the animated movies where people are walking
I
around with
just
a
bought
Walkman.
a really
Lies.
cool thing that I'm excited about for my music, which is that it is a solar-powered phone charger slash speaker system, like Bluetooth connected, like play, so I can play Spotify on it, but also it'll charge my phone, and it just gets charged by the sun, and I'm like, this is cool.
That is cool. That is cool.
And then if you buy a second one, which I have been thinking about doing, because I would have tested out first, but apparently it pairs with other ones of them, so you can create the speaker sound. I'm like
Cool.
super excited by it.
I'm not very techie. Like people in my life yell lights on and the lights turn on. I got one of those Echo things free with our Ring doorbell, and I just didn't want it. I didn't want to say things and something respond. I was like, no, I'm good. The dog will be loopy enough as
This
it is.
funny. Comparatively, this is the youngest
No, that's fair. We were talking on the Discord today about Pokemon and talking about like if you played Pokemon games, and the last one I played was Pokemon Yellow on the Game Boy, and I got stuck at one point, and then I think it was I can't ever say his name, but someone on there said, "Oh, you must have been stuck at this point." And I went, "It was 25 years ago." I do not know where I got stuck in that game, but I know the cartridge is this big, and that was the end of my Pokemon.
I was actually just in the Lego store, and one of the Legos they have in sort of their like retro collection is a Lego of a Game Boy. And you can build the cartridges, and then when you stick in the cartridge, you can change the screenshot that is in there depending on what cartridge you stick in, which I think is really cute and funny.
I need it to work. I can't.
I know. They need to make it so that you build it and it plays. Yeah.
Because in the latest Animal Crossing update, they added it so if you go to a television, you can play retro games because it's Nintendo. So you can go in and play old games. And I'm like, why do they not get the Lego to work? So yeah,
despite all this technology, you know what I was doing yesterday? I was playing board games, Rosie. I played Trinket Trove.
It's so cute. It's so lovely.
Cute game from Sundara Tang is the artist, the designer Rocco Privatera. Look at these cute characters. I mean, Brisbee, come on, look at that. That's super
do you have one that you pick?
Yesterday I played Patches. Look at how cute.
Very sweet. We love Patches.
Yeah. There's Barnard. Look at that. This is adorable.
But Bernard.
Bernard.
I love the different ways people say names.
Look at this. I mean, Nimbus. Come on. We love
Nimbus. I want to know which one's Sundara's favorite. I'm sure she watches these, so she'll probably tell us.
Yeah, she'll have to say. Here's what I love about Trinket Trove. If everyone hasn't played it, it is a very fast game. Plays 2 to 6. I love the fact that it plays 6. It's very compact.
Yeah.
How small this is. And the thing that always happens is it's fast. And every time I've played it, people want to play it again. They're like, let's do another one. Let's run it again.
It's really lovely, yeah.
Usually because you get like, if you play and then you get blown away and score, you're like, let me back at that game. I can do it. I can collect all the buttons or all the lures or all of the.
I also love that Sundara always goes above and beyond.
Yes.
A lot of the additional things that are in games that she's worked on, some of them are things that have been discussed from publisher to artist, and some of them she's just gone and done because she wants more.
Like so we can find a quick example. Like she has a bell that like not every bell looks like that bell.
Yeah,
actually taking the time to make each bell different.
Each like feather art is different. Like they change across them, and that's not important to the game. It's just a really lovely thing to do. So I really like that.
And mechanically, I love the fact that this is a fun thing in the game. Some of the items, like for example, the crayon, you get points if you have 1 crayon. You get better points if you have 2 crayons, but then you get 0 points if you have 3 crayons.
Yeah.
And then you go, well, I need 4 crayons is amazing. So you're trying to play this game of like, I want to collect things, but I want to get the right number. and I want to try and figure out when somebody's going to dump their crayons into the market, and then I'll steal them all. It's really fun. I played another cozy game as well, which was finally I got to play There and Back again.
Yeah, you're so slow on this one. That's my number
really
2 game, page 25.
I love this art style.
It's actually, I'm trying to remember his name, but he did the art for a game called Helton Palace, which is like a programming game where it's a 2-player programming game where you're trying to keep your hellish guests happy in a certain order every time you play, and basically the winner is the one that their hotel lasts the longest, because it's going to fall apart because people are destroying it. And I remember the art on that one being absolutely awesome, and then this came out and I went, I know this art. And
Lorenzo Colangeli.
Yeah, Lorenzo Colangeli. He's very sweet and like,
also creative direction of this game by my good friend Bree Woodward.
Oh yeah.
He also did the writing, and then marketing was by our collective friend Crystal Rose. Look at all the people. Fun. And it's a Reiner Knizia game. It's really good. There's 8 mini games inside of it. And so the first one, you're trying to get the dwarves to Bag End.
But not without bread.
But not without, well, though they can get there. You get points if they get there, but if you don't have bread for each one.
You want to get the bread. Yeah. I played it last night with my friend and they destroyed us. they got Gandalf and Thorin, got the extra points for that, and they managed to do it. And the only thing I managed to do was end the game quicker so that it wasn't as bad a loss by getting all the dwarves back. But yeah,
the second one where you have to go with the trolls, and you have to it's so well designed, because after you pass the first section you can't go back, and then you're stuck in the second section, and it's really hard to get past these trolls. But when you get past all the trolls, you get more, like, all these super points. You can decide how fast you want to go through the thing, or you can linger and try and score all the points. It's really fun.
My favorite one so far, other than the Golem one, which is completely different, is the one where they've got walls inside them, meaning you have to get very specific shapes. So usually you can just draw kind of whatever path you want.
Are you talking about the one where it's a narrow path that you have?
Yeah, you got to go through a narrow path and you've got to get specific pieces, which I really like that. And obviously my favorite game is Railroad Inc. So this game was a win-win.
That's what I was thinking, is like, this is very Railroad Inc. Like
it's very Railroad
This
Inc.
is the one where it's very you
got to go work your way through and get the very specific piece. I really liked that aspect.
And you have to spend a bread on every one of these spaces. Amazing.
Yep. It's very cool.
It's super cute. I had a good time playing it.
That and Cozy Stickerville were big hits for me. And now everyone's getting Cozy Stickerville because it's just released. They're all discovering how wonderful it is. So it's like, I need to play the other side of it. So
first of all, I not only want to play Cozy Stickerville some more, because I've only played one chapter, but I also want to build a village and, dare I say, tear it down. I want to play Cozy Stickerville where everything that could go wrong does go wrong.
Yeah, that's the other side of our board, is the evil corporation side, where we're going to just destroy the land.
That's what I want.
But no, absolutely. Let me check if there's any questions from anyone. Please, any questions you have about Whisperwood or any of our games. But we obviously, Whisperwood's starting to get more conversations. If you want to ask any questions about it, more than welcome. When does the Genesis Pledge Manager close? Not yet.
Good one. Yes.
Not yet.
Right now, late pledge is still open. We were thinking about having late pledge open through April. We don't have an official timeline, but we will do an update soon, which will say, hey, the pledge manager portion is open, which will allow people to finish their shipping, get any items that they're missing, and then we'll give people plenty of time, probably like March and April, to get it all buttoned up. And then we'll close it roughly around then, just because we need to make sure we get things on a boat. So
Yep.
Any
updates on the All Play pre-orders? It's gone very quiet in the UK.
Well, I know that the All Play, so everyone knows, we've just moved our inventory to All Play. All Play also works with Spiral Galaxy, which we do too, but we've had to move a bunch of inventory. So one of the things that happened is right when we closed the pre-orders, which was the 1st of February, we had we got all that stuff to All Play and Spiral, and then they've started to crack on those orders. But I know that it's there's a lot to do, so I don't know the timeline. I think they said they were about like 60% into the orders. So I'm hoping we'll see February get all the orders shipped out. Now it should just be UK, so because I think Europe is being done by another fulfillment center, so that means that it should be pretty fast once they get everybody in the mail.
Yeah, I mean, I know people are receiving them, so they are on their way, but it's obviously there's a lot of them. They do have a customer helpline. You could ask that and see if you get a response. I definitely would look into that.
They do. They have we're also testing the system of All Play. In other words, we're sending now our replacement parts there. We're sending our customer service requests there. Our team still gets customer service requests and then works with All Play. So if you have if you haven't gotten enough communication, if you feel like, hey, I don't know where mine is, I'd be curious to if people ask if they get replies or not. That would be good data back. You could tell me in Discord and be like, hey, I haven't heard anything, and I asked like a week ago, because I would love to, after this period of time, sync with All Play and see if we can help them understand what when we're going to do big things like the pre-order. We'll work with them on like maybe going faster, but I know that they are kind of adapting to. They just did a presentation where they explained to us how many different partners they have. There's over 30 publisher partners that they're working with, including like Kinson Key for Galactic Cruise and Druid City for Wonderland's War, and Bitewing has a lot of games. Also, I was kind of blown away by how many different partners, the people who make Iridia, the people who make Flock Together, they have so many partners going on. I think we're one of their bigger publisher partners. And so I think we're going to stress test the system, especially when we have a big release come out, or Flamecraft Duels was a big push for them.
Yeah.
So I think they're catching up, and they're seeing how many people want plush, and I think it's blowing them away. So
this is similar. I could not get in on the pre-sale at All Play. When are things going to be available again? In March, we're going to
we went dark for February because what we were trying to do is make sure all those pre-orders that we just talked about get out the door, and then we want to come back. And when we come back, we're going to put, I think it was mostly just Flamecraft that we had in the pre-order because it was all Kickstarter items, but now we're going to put all the Critter Kitchen and Andromeda's Edge goodies that we have on there, and we've been shipping them to more sections of the world so that hopefully when we come online, there could be some more orders that go faster in Australia, or more orders that go faster in China and things like that. So March, we'll be back. We'll be back with the store. I mean, we'll have to celebrate with some cool, fun store specials.
Is the art for Whisperwood finished, or is there more to be done?
Oh man, the art for Whisperwood.
It's a big game.
It's a big game. And one of the things we're trying to do with Whisperwood is we have been working on there's ancient golems, and there's wildlife in the forest, and there's these mystical fey creatures, and we've been like figuring out which animals to do and which golems to do and which druids, like everything about the game. And so what's funny is that the game design and the development has been evolving, and as it has done so, for example, like just as a random thing, there was a unicorn in the game 2 weeks ago, and now there's not. It doesn't mean that the next creature is not as good as a unicorn. What it just means is that we're trying to decide all these things, and then we go to Sergio Chavez, the artist, and we say, okay, there's a unicorn, go. Okay, wait, no, there's no unicorn, stop. So Whisperwood, what I can't wait to do very soon, as we lock these things down and we have our first look at the bears, the owls, and the otters, which we know for sure are in, we're going to show those, and then we're going to start to show you more creatures, because as you get deeper into the woods, you're going to find these out. Now, this is a piece of art that we just put in the newsletter. This is Heatherdrift. Yeah, poor Sergio is correct, and I think he would agree with you. If he was on this stream, he would say, absolutely, because to do a game that is evolving like Whisperwood is very tough, and we really appreciate Sergio's patience. This is a druid, one of the 4 hero characters, called Heatherdrift. We'll have some more lore about Heatherdrift and what Heatherdrift's favorite animal is and how Heatherdrift got started in Whisperwood. But you could play as Red. It's one of the colors you can play. She She reminds me a little bit of like, it's like Little Red Riding Hood going into the forest full of different animal types, and she's going to cast all these spells, and so you can play as Heather Drift as one of the characters.
I like the tiny bird.
Yes, Sergio's doing a great job at like all the little animals. They're going to be adorable to see all the different critters that are in there.
Yeah, it's giving like Pigwidgeon vibes. The teeny tiny bird. I love it.
I just showed the artwork of there's a banner that we had at PAX, and I showed that to our animation team, and they caught the little tiny frog that was at the bottom of the lake, and they're like, that is the cutest frog ever.
Yeah. He's asking for more art. This is what we currently have as we are still working through it. Like, it's a lot of work.
There is a purple druid. So purple, by the way, has been a consistent color in Cardboard Alchemy games since the beginning. You've been able to play purple in every one of our games. I wonder how that happened. So there is a purple player. It is a sort of a big burly druid that's got like a wolf motif. It's got like a wolf hat and stuff like that. Kind of a it's cool. I'm going to be interested to see like how each of these druids has like a little bit of lore behind them, and like their favorite animal, their type of staff, the type of spells they cast. But in the game, you can cast any spells you want. You don't have to, if you're the red player, you're not going to have specific powers as the red player. You're going to have powers related to your familiar that you get, because everyone's got to have their own animal, and that animal is going to have powers with you. So you can play red and then do any of the spells in the game. You can play purple and do any of the spells in the game. You can play green. That is one of the colors we're planning. Now, of course, I say all of this could change. This is a game still in progress, but currently our colors are yellow, green, red, and purple are the colors we're looking at. Team Orange, you know what's funny about that is that Christian Strain, so Chris Strain is one of our developers in our studio. He's also one of the 3 designers of Whisperwood, and his favorite color is orange. And I don't know how orange did not make it in. But Heather Drift is going to have to be the team. She'll have to have a little bit of orange with her.
This is my favorite color. Where's that, huh?
Yeah, oh, I know. But you can play Critter Kitchen because all of the zoo chefs are that color.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, as we get more art and things to share and lore and stuff, we'll be putting it in the Whisperwood fan group. So be sure to join that. It's on Facebook. The art is so good. The art is so good. I think Sergio Chavez is one of the greatest treasures in board game art that hasn't been like he's not as well known as he should be. He's an amazing talent. And when I show you this type of stuff he's drawing for this game, you're all going to be blown away. The Golem designs, which we're going to put in our Whisperwood Facebook group, we're going to start going behind the scenes and show you. I would love to actually get a drawing video where Sergio shows how he does some of his art, because it's amazing. Yeah,
I'll see if he will do that.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
He has so many creative ideas that are happening with this game, because we tell him like, oh, we want a golem and we want it kind of like this, and then he blows us away with this concept of what he's going to do.
That's super cool. I mean, I've only seen little bits of the artwork, so it's still coming in. And as usual, because when you're deving a game, you can't do too much art until things are locked in. Otherwise, it's basically a waste of time. You're just changing things as they change. I was part of a project where the art was done before the dev was done, and it's just not the right way around to do it. So we have to like get things locked in. A live stream with Sergio Drawing would be amazing.
Absolutely.
Have you ever done one with him, or?
I haven't done one with him. He's pretty private, but he will potentially. He did a recording when we do Rise of Tribes on Kickstarter. He actually did a time elapse of him drawing one of the characters of Rise of Tribes. It was gorgeous, and I really hope he'll do that again, because it's just magic. And I think that's what's great about this, is that we have some magic in this world. And what I can't wait to see is how he's going to bring that magic come to life, the druids casting spells, and all the fun things we got coming on.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely.
If any of your questions, then you can comment underneath this video. You can message us on Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah,
all this kind of
if you
things.
wanna stay in tune on Whisperwood, we have a new Facebook group, but we also have a Discord, and you can sign up to play Whisperwood. In fact, Luke Laurie, our developer, he's working on a demo where you can just try a couple of rounds of it, so you get a taste of Whisperwood and see if it's a game that's going to be for you, because it's a bag builder. It's a pretty big, beefy, thinky game, but if you try it out in our Discord, you can find out what it's all about.
Yep, absolutely. We hope to see you over there. And yeah, we're all over the internet, so you can always ask questions.
Wow, you heard
BGG,
it
also
here first.
ask questions on BGG, although we do have a
Oh,
forum
we're
for.
all over. Yeah, BGG is absolutely the place to. I mean, especially too because as Genesis comes out this year, I know Andromeda's Edge has been hitting tabletops all worldwide now because it's starting to get out in other countries. I know the Italian version of Andromeda's Edge just came out, and several other countries are getting it. So now there's more influx of questions, and we have our team over there as well. So
It's a great place to look for rules questions. Luke is very active on there as well, so you'll get a response from the designer, which is pretty cool.
oh,
So
and
yeah.
then very quickly, solo available on TTS. You know, Chris is working on the solo play because Whisperwood definitely planning to have a solo game. I can't wait to play that because I really enjoy the game and I just want to I want to practice because Luke keeps beating me at Whisperwood, so I'm gonna need some. Also, to be honest, Impy keeps beating me as well because she's tested it in our Discord and does really well. So does a couple people on here. So
You probably beat me.
well, we're gonna get you up to speed, Rosie, so that you can be a pro at Whisperwood as well.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Cheers,
Thank you
everybody.
very much, everyone.
Game on. Whatever you play over the weekend, you'll have to tell us on the next stream. So we want to hear it. Cheers.